Well, the first question that was sent to me was, I've noticed that there are fecal retrieval bag receptacles on several downtown light poles. Did the city install them, and are they planning on putting them in the parks? That's a good question. About a year and a half ago, we had a complaint from several of the business owners downtown in regards to animals relieving themselves on the sidewalk and not picking up after themselves. We took it upon ourselves in visiting with Tony Tapia to go ahead and order a couple of these boxes, which cost about $100 a piece, and to place them in two areas downtown where we're noticing the most issues. The bags have worked. From time to time, we do have to refill the bags. The bags are relatively cheap. It's about $90 for the refills, which isn't cheap, but given the alternative of them relieving themselves on the sidewalk, it was something that we could do with relative ease. And so we could bring those to the other parks. We could look at adding them to potentially Wilson Park, maybe along the trail up north, the walking trail, hike-back trail. We could also look at doing them in several other parks, but really it comes on a customer driven, not necessarily customer, but as complaints come in and we determine whether or not it would be a good location for them, and we move from there. And so that is what we're planning on doing with that matter. Next question that I've received is, why has the city not done anything about Maple Avenue between Summit Street and 2nd Street? The road is terrible. Maple Avenue between Summit and 2nd Street is one of those streets, it's brick. There has been some issues with the sewer system in between the Wilson Park area and the immediately across the street house. And we've had some repairs done in that area. However, it's just like all of our other streets, it comes to prioritization. Right now we are in the process of implementing a capital improvement plan and having a community-driven process where we identify areas that need improvement. The citizens submit basically a sheet saying what their concerns are and what projects are important to them. The committee will then review all those sheets and make a determination of priority. You know, what should our funding go towards? Funding for road construction, road improvements is very limited. You know, the cost of doing a mill and overlay project is basically calculated by lane mile. And by lane mile, what that is every lane of road traffic per mile. So Summit Street would have 4 basically lanes per mile. And so a simple mill and overlay project where it would be funded at $125,000 per mill or per lane mile would actually be almost, well, be, let's see, $500,000 to complete that same project. And so it's very expensive to do road projects in the community. For a total reconstruction, it's about $850,000 per lane mile. So fixing our roads is a priority, however funding is limited, and the comprehensive improvement plan and committee will do their best to ensure that the money utilized for road improvements will be used wisely. But thank you for the question. Next question that I have here is, how does the city justify requiring tree trimmers to pay for permits to trim trees inside the city limits? Those companies have never had to pay for permits before. What this question is in regards to is a matter that was brought to our attention a couple years ago by a couple of our local tree trimmers. They had concerns with other individuals providing what they claim to be less than adequate service to customers. At that time, I told them that that was not a matter that I was prepared to bring before the commission, the city commission, and that they would have to take that matter to the Building Trades Board, which really has the oversight control for all the contractors and all the tradesmen in our Kansas City. That has recently just been brought for the very first time to the Building Trades Board at their most recent meeting. At that time, it was suggested that potentially it'd be a Class D license, which all Class D licenses require a $150 a year first year permit. And I believe there's either an $80 or $50 renewal fee per year after that. So it really hasn't been brought to the commission level, city commission level. It's still being studied and being reviewed by the Buildings Trades Board. Once the Building Trades Board makes a determination on whether to look at licensing or to not look at licensing, the City Commission won't take action until it has been approved by the Building Trades Board for recommendation to be implemented within the city. But until that time, the City Commission has no intention to just unilaterally license tree trimmers.
Can you explain how it protects the homeowner?
By tree trimming, if you were to do a license, and I believe what they're looking at doing is protection for commercial individuals who do it as a commercial business. And what they're wanting to do is ensure that those individuals that are selling themselves or providing the service for customers have at least some minimum insurance requirements. So if there ever were to be any issues with that individual performing the service, that there would be at least some minimal liability insurance to cover any potential damages or any claims to neighbors' properties or even to their own property if the tree trimming was done improperly. However, as I said previously, this is a matter that's still being discussed by the Buildings Trades Board, and they will have to discuss and look at all those items, make determinations on funding levels, or even see if it's worth licensing in the city of York City.